I'd like to introduce Jim Munroe. Jim Munroe is from Maze Magic, and the Barnabas Group has been fortunate to have a long relationship with them and to watch Jim and Maze grow and more importantly, to impact just thousands and thousands and thousands of college people all across the United States. Jim's going to come up and give us an update on what's been happening with Maze and with him. Come on up, Jim.
Can you hear me okay just for the next couple seconds? I was going to show you something to kind of keep the afternoon going here. Is that okay? Yeah. Alex, then after the helmet, because you're the most honest person we know, right? Yeah. I brought these. These are 52 of my favorite friends. I'm going to quickly, I want you to watch them. These are especially what I want you to do is just take a chunk of cards. Just take a chunk. There you go. Here's what I do. Keeping one card for yourself, I want you to begin to distribute an individual card to anybody in the room. If you get a card from Alan, stand to your feet, but take a quick peek at the card you received, but don't show the back of it. Make sure I can't see the back. And when you're done with that, Alan, you can have a seat as well. Make sure you take one more card for yourself. Once again, if you receive the card, stand to your feet right where you're at, and hold the card against yourself. And I just want you to begin to concentrate on the value of the card that you got. Is this fair? This is as fair as it gets, right? Shuffle pack, you cut. Sorry, you took a chunk and now people are standing. Yes, we're good with that? All of you who are standing right now, I want you right here. Just right here. Just sit right here. Okay, good. What I want each of you to do right now is to just think of your card. And this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I want you to send it to me, right? Subconsciously, you know exactly what to do, but your conscious mind has no idea what's going on right now. But just send it to me. Value in suits, value in suits. If you don't know, the spade is the one with the pointy and the club is like puppy feet, right? Just think of your card over and over and over again. You're going to be the tough one, aren't you, sir? Three diamonds. Which one of these things? Three diamonds. Thank you so much. Very good. Take that. Ten of spades. Right here. Yes, very good. Keep thinking of your card. Make sure I can't see the back. That is the eight of diamonds. Yes, thank you so much. Keep thinking of your card over and over again. That is the seven of clubs. Seven of clubs. Who has the seven of clubs? That's you. Very good. Continue to think about the card. That's the four of spades. Yes, very good. Thank you so much. Keep thinking of your card over and over and over again. Nine of diamonds. Which one of you has the nine of diamonds? Thank you so much. Nine of clubs. Nine of clubs. Okay, wait a second. Wait, right here. Oh, good. Sorry. Have a seat. Keep thinking of your card, the eight of hearts. Which one of you has the eight of hearts? Yes, thank you so much. Oh, you were the tough one. The five of diamonds. Yes, which one? Five of diamonds. Thank you. Keep going over and over and over again. Keep thinking of your card over and over again. Ace of diamonds. Very good. Six of hearts. Yes, very good. And then finally, the judge, the lawyer, the attorney. I'm not supposed to be able to get this. Ace of hearts. Ace of hearts. So fitting. So fitting. Give it up for round of applause. All right, my name is Jim Munroe. I founded an organization called The Maze, and it's your fault that I'm still here doing this magic show because the Barnabas Group is the reason why The Maze exists. There's been several Barnabas Group members who helped us start The Maze. Almost 15 years ago, I stood before the Barnabas Group in Orange County and with another gentleman who has actually since passed away. If you want to talk about spiritual warfare, I'd love to elaborate on what that means. But very quickly, I'm going to tell you a brief version of my story because Billy Graham used it in the last evangelistic address of his life, as well as I Am Second. To my knowledge, it's been over 25,000 churches, and I don't even know how many thousands of people have made decisions for Christ as a result. But very quickly, I grew up here in Orange County. I went to Servite High School, ended up going to the University of Texas. If your kids went to Mater Dei and USC, you already hate me. Go get some coffee. All right, but I'm from here. I grew up here. But I was a legitimate agnostic, borderline atheist by the time I left home, right? And getting to the University of Texas, obviously a very liberal school, I just began to expound on what life was like without the idea of a God, philosophically speaking. So I understand what a lot of these college students are going through, in particular high school students now even so, and many people who these churches are trying to reach all over the country. Anyway, there was this one thought that I had. It was very true for anybody who is thinking about the God question, and it's this: if there is a God and he reveals himself to me in a way that I can completely understand, and he convinces me, whatever it is convinces me, I'll follow him, I'll do whatever he says to do, right? That was my thought as well. I got diagnosed with a very rare form of leukemia in 2008. I was given 2 months to live. I went to MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas on Christmas Eve, got diagnosed fully, and process began. They decided that the only way that I was going to live was if I had a bone marrow transplant. And at this time, whatever faith that I did have in God began to wane quite a bit. I began to revisit my agnostic roots. I kind of realized that I was more of an intellectual ascender than I was a convinced Christian by the heart, correct? So as I was going through this process, they decided they wanted to perform this procedure called a bone marrow transplant. I didn't know what that was, but essentially it's this. It's the substitution of blood on your behalf by somebody on planet Earth whose perfect blood matches yours, right? That sounds a little bit messianic, yes? So through this entire process, they began to tell me we have to find someone in the world whose blood matches yours. Long story short, out of a 9 million person international database, there was one person on planet Earth who could save me my disease. Also very messianic, right? By their blood. Check this out. They told me that my new birthday, that's the terminology that they gave me, my new birthday, these Jewish doctors, everyone knows Jewish doctors are way better than regular doctors, right? These Jewish doctors told me that my new birthday, I was going to be like a baby inside the womb being born again. Those are their words, not mine, I kid you not. And then on April 23rd, that was my new birthday, they said, to celebrate your second birth. And I said, why? They said, because it's no longer you that's going to be living on the inside of you, it's going to be somebody else. And essentially the life that you live will be by faith in this new system that's keeping you alive, right? I actually got a chance. Oh, by the way, my natural birthday, I was born in St. Jude's Hospital in Florida. My natural birthday is April 20th. So literally the difference between the old man and the new life is literally on the third day. I came back to life because of the only blood on planet Earth that could save me of my disease. But then check this out. I got a chance to meet this girl who saved my life. I'd given my life to try and help college students. It was a 19-year-old female that stepped up to the plate and helped me. Sorry, I was a baseball player. Stepped up to the plate and helped me. But listen, I got a chance to meet this girl, not knowing if I'd ever get a chance to. And she, long story short, her name is Janelle, which literally means the grace of God. So now it's the grace of God that stepped into time and space by their own blood on the third day to save me of my disease. I got a chance to meet this girl, and she said I got a tattoo to commemorate what I did. Not knowing if I'd ever get a chance to meet you, I got a tattoo of a jigsaw puzzle piece on the very spot where they put the IV in my arm to pull out the new blood, knowing I was the missing piece in someone else's life, and without me, that person wouldn't be alive. Jesus stood before a cloud of witnesses with marks on his body as well, right? To show that it's from these wounds that you've been healed. So I don't know if you've been able to hear the messianic connotations or actually the gospel through my story, but I don't have to say the name of Jesus once for people to understand what is happening, right? So I've been given this amazing story, this amazing testimony, and through it, we're literally seeing, last year, we saw over 5,000 college and high school students make first-time decisions for Jesus Christ. 5,000. Thank you. I go to the 7th largest church in the country, Gateway Church in Southlake, Texas. I'm from Texas. You're all going to be there one day. We have our arms wide open. We're ready to have you. But I live in Southlake, Texas. My Texas church, 7th largest in the country with however many millions of dollars in budget, had about 4,100 new believers make decisions. So with a $450,000 budget, God was able to take very little and do a lot with it, right? I brought a video here I want you to see. I only have a couple minutes after that, but this kind of sums up who we are, so check this out.
My name is Jim Munroe, and I'm the co-founder of this ministry called Maze. And Maze just actually became a ministry of Cru, formerly Campus Crusade for Christ. We are here at the University of Texas at Austin. It's one of the 10 largest college campuses in the United States. We're here at the infamous Hogg Auditorium, and I wanted to give you all a taste of what it is that we do. You can see all these seats are empty. We've been publicizing for this event for probably the last 2 weeks with all the different handbills and things you can see underneath the chairs right now. There's some stuff ready to go. This is a Maze show, so hope you like it. I also hope that as you consider praying and supporting the different things that are happening all across the country, especially evangelistically, that if you're not already doing so, that you'd prayerfully consider being a part of this Maze ministry. We're seeing a lot of awesome things happen all over the place, and I'm just excited for you to check it out and hear what other people have to say about it. So here we go.
Really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I was already a Christian, so it was a good reminder of what it means and like the commitment and how Jesus like washes us in the blood. It's awesome.
My favorite trick was when he wrote down all of our birthdays and he added them up and it had a number and it was like the Pepsi thing. It was insane.
I think it's definitely the knife one.
How many times do you have to come to a show to become a groupie?
It's definitely set up to the point where it's relatable to anyone.
I was walking by, the volunteers out there pulled me in, they said, come watch the show. I was just coming to get entertained, but at the end of it, there was a message that spoke to me, the randomness of how I got in here. It kind of coincided with the randomness of his story, and I just had to do the call of action.
It's like a more robust experience than just say like a magic trick or a magic show. It has like other depth to it.
Even if you're not a believer, like it was super entertaining and it was awesome.
My favorite overall theme was how, like reality might not be the way we perceive it and how there might be something like way beyond, what we think is real.
It really opens your eyes to like the other ways that people can relate to this faith and Christianity.
It's definitely something that you should consider because it is enlightening.
It will completely blow you away in the sense of like it'll make you see things from a completely different angle. Like it wasn't just a magic show, it changes the way you see like literally everything.
Cool, huh? Andre Cole, if anybody's familiar with Andre Cole, was an evangelist with Cru who traveled with Cru for many, many years. He's since retired. I got to see him last year, and it was kind of neat baton that was torched, so to speak, that was passed on to us. So if anyone's familiar with the evangelism of Cru, this is one of the things that they use predominantly on their college campuses to see people get touched and changed. I don't know if you know this, but the fastest growing philosophical movement in your culture, not the one in Nigeria, the one in your culture. Do you know we're called to reach Jerusalem, then Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth, right? So Jerusalem was where they were at that point. But the fastest growing philosophy in your culture today is the atheism agnostic push. They call themselves the nuns. 28% of people, of millennials, claim to be none. So what does that mean? Paid to be the bearer of bad news here. But if we don't all do something to reach millennials, this Barnabas group meeting is going to keep shrinking over the years, right? And the most influence and the most time, talent, and treasure that's ever been exercised in the history of mankind towards missions work happens because of places like this, in this room right now, because of believers in this country, right? So I'm imploring you, A, if you know a campus minister, continue to support him and give him or her more money. 2, if people are asking you from campus ministry to support them, please do it, right? And 3, we have a number of ways for you to get involved with what we're doing through Maze, all right? Couple things. We have success issues. 15 years ago when I stepped on the Barnabas stage, I was like, can you please help us? It's just card tricks is kind of what people thought. But today, we did over 100 shows 2 years ago. We did 75 last year. We're all over the country. We have a second team that we just launched. Check this out. Our second magician is a converted Muslim who's a magician, right? Who now travels the country and shares the gospel about how God changed his life through the Maze show, believe it or not. So he's product of our own ministry. We've got another magician in the queue. There's 2 more that are asking about what to do. We're growing very quickly. We need your help. We're planning a a California Western regional tour. My friend Dan Allen's here with Campus Crusade. It's called Cru, formerly Campus Crusade. They are, we're putting together a West Coast tour. We could use your help with that. And then also, I'm going to kind of show you some pictures here because my final ask has to. So this is Young Dundas Square in Toronto, Canada. This is an outdoor event that we performed at. 40% of that audience is Muslim, all right? And that's in Toronto, Canada. This is in Columbus, Ohio. I'm kind of rolling through. This is Colorado State University at Cru 15, their big conference last year. This is also Columbus, Ohio. But as you can see what magic is and why we use it is it's an intellectual humbler. Right? What's the first thing you get done when you watch a magic trick? What do you say? How'd you do that, right? It's intellectual humility in a nutshell, and it works very, very well, all right? The guys that help us produce our show are the same guys that work with David Blaine, Chris Angel, Darren Brown. They're all atheists, and they love us. I'll also mention this. We are the single largest recruiter. This ministry that all of you helped to create is the single largest recruiter of bone marrow donors in the world. We've since got, yes. So kids come to our shows, they get saved, and then they go save someone else's life biologically and physically. If you want a way of sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ with somebody, how about save their life, right? It's pretty cool. So anyway, also, you can send us to your alma mater. I know I really don't want to go to UCLA, though, okay? Bruins, I'm not going, so I'm just kidding. Bruins need to get saved the most, right? No. But USC, you think about your alma mater. We're putting together packages for people to send us to their alma mater and to join us. You're not just writing a check. You can come with us. You can be on campus. You can help promote the event. We're also looking for corporate sponsorships. If you know anybody who's looking to put a product or an idea in front of a large group of people, that's wide open. We see thousands upon thousands of college students all the time. If you know anyone in those areas that are looking to obviously market to that generation of those people, I'm talking like the Chick-fil-A's of the world and what have you, that would be fantastic as well. And also, too, your prayers. This is a Barnabas Group ministry. If you are a Barnabas Group member, guess what? You've created this. So thank the Lord, but pat yourselves on the back as well. We're thankful to be part of the Barnabas Group. If there's any way that we can continue to help Barnabas Group members as well, we have a neat platform that we can use all across the country. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your time. Jane, am I missing anything? Did I say everything? Jane Stump's our new executive director from Crew. She's fantastic. If you have any questions, we're going to be at our table. Oh, I also wrote a book. Love for you to come pick up a book in the back. Thank you so much for having me, and I'll probably see you again at some point. Right, Jim? It's good? All right, good.
You don't want to come up and try to get Jim down early. He could make you disappear. May's Magic feedback form is on page 41. While you turn there, let me just pray for Jim and Mays. Father, what an amazing journey that we've been on to watch Mays when Jim Edwards first introduced them to us many, many years ago, and how they were birthed out of just his living room, and now how they've impacted just thousands and thousands of lives. Just 87 just recently down at University of San Diego. And Lord, what a blessing it is to see the spiritual warfare that they've had to endure, but yet through your power, Lord, they've overcome. Give them more, Lord, give them more. We want to reach more people. We just thank you. We pray this in the name of your Son.